Yeah, which brings me to climate change. Every day there's a tangent to climate change. I can't avoid it. But young Australian students are being urged to lobby friends and family on the need for urgent climate action to counter an unprecedented bushfire crisis. There's that word again, unprecedented, as the student strike movement seizes on recent tragic fires to further its cause. Look, at the end of the day, Kristy, what annoys me is that the kids aren't encouraged to think for themselves, to research for themselves, to try and find what their views are by themselves. They're given a political brochure or a Bible to follow and echo to everyone they know. That is not the way to be in charge of school children.
I agree with you, Chris. And look, I'm not going to discourage children from being politically active or trying to make themselves politically informed. The more people who are politically informed in this country, the better. But we want them to be politically informed of forming a critical view. And nowhere in these brochures am I seeing that, you know, the whole economy is fuelled by the $178 billion worth of exports in commodities that we dig out of the ground in Australia that keeps this country afloat. I quote a line which was in the Australian today, presumably quoted from that brochure, that says climate change is fuelled by mining and the burning of coal, which is enabled by the Australian government. Well, the Australian government has a responsibility to keep the economy afloat
and the lights on.
Do it. And the lights on, and that's how we do that in Australia. We would all love an energy policy that takes more into account, and we'd all love renewables to be more commercially viable and to compete for baseload power. But as Caleb was saying, they can't at the current time, and unfortunately our export dollars come from our commodities industry.
Yeah, and Tim Flannery, which is where they get the Bible to teach the students, Tim Flannery is arguing, and so is this Bible to our students, that, oh, hang on a sec, we sell all this coal to the rest of the world, so we are far more guilty than what the government points out. Well, if the government didn't give the rest of the world our cleaner coal, they'd be burning brown coal and releasing and emitting far more CO2 than what they're doing at the moment. That's a fact.
Yeah, that is a fact. And look, a lot of we have a lot of political views in this country on that. We have corporate social responsibility. We have Westpac putting out statements saying we won't fund Adani. We have Adani saying we never asked you. You know, they're just saying that to make a social agenda and to get a jump on the corporate social responsibility. So there's a lot of politics at play here. But of course, you know, the first rule of business is you have to meet the market. And if you're selling a product that there is a market to, well, Australian coal certainly does have a market to the rest of the world. And as I said, $178 billion worth of exports is a pretty fair market. Yeah.